What if for just 5 seconds the world literally stopped spinning? It sounds impossible, but let's imagine the unimaginable for a moment. For billions of years, Earth has spun steadily, creating the rhythm of day and night. But if it halted, even for a few heartbeats, everything would change in an instant, in ways we can barely comprehend. At the equator, the ground moves at over 1,000 miles per hour. If the planet stopped, everything not anchored to the core would keep moving at that speed, as if the brakes were slammed on the entire world. Imagine every person, building, and tree suddenly launched eastward, supersonic projectiles in a world gone mad. The sheer force would be beyond anything we've ever witnessed. The force would obliterate cities, flatten landscapes, and erase civilization in a heartbeat. Skyscrapers would topple, bridges would snap, and entire neighborhoods would be swept away in seconds. The ground itself would betray us, unleashing a wave of destruction as kinetic energy is released everywhere. Earthquakes would ripple across continents and the crust could crack open in places, mountains could shear apart, and the friction between the atmosphere and the ground would ignite global firestorms. Wildfires would rage uncontrollably, fueled by hurricane-force winds. The sound? A deafening planet-wide roar as the world tears itself apart. The noise would be so intense it could shatter eardrums and windows alike. And this is just the beginning. In those 5 seconds, time would seem to stretch, every moment packed with chaos and destruction. The oceans and atmosphere, still in motion, would unleash their own chaos. Tsunamis would race across continents and storms would spiral out of control. The longest 5 seconds in history would be a prelude to a nightmare beyond imagination. Survivors, if any, would emerge into a world forever changed. In those moments, the invisible force that cradles our existence, gravity and inertia, would become our greatest enemy, turning familiar places into death traps. The world would be unrecognizable before the 5 seconds were up. Landmarks would vanish, and the map of Earth would be redrawn by disaster. The chain reaction would be unstoppable. Survival? Unlikely. The consequences would echo for generations, if anyone remained to remember. This is the ultimate disaster, one that rewrites the story of life on Earth, reminding us just how fragile our spinning world truly is. Picture yourself standing in a field. The world feels calm, steady beneath your feet, but in reality, you're riding on a planet spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. Suddenly, without warning, you're hurled sideways at bullet speed, as if the ground itself has betrayed you. The closer you are to the equator, the more violent the jolt. No structure, no matter how strong, could withstand such a force. Skyscrapers, bridges, dams, all would collapse instantly, reduced to rubble in the blink of an eye. The Earth's crust would strain and fracture, while the molten core keeps churning, triggering superquakes and volcanic eruptions on a scale never before witnessed. Tectonic plates would shift violently, creating new mountains and chasms in seconds, reshaping the very face of the planet. The ground would become a churning nightmare.